We've talked about the yes that scared you, and we've talked about the yes that's confused you. Now let's talk about what do you do when you're standing in the middle of one and you're not sure exactly which one it is? Because a year ago, I would have missed everything. And because this year, I thought I was missing everything. So grab your favorite drink and pull up a chair and let's chat. Hey, welcome back to Comeback Conversations on Renewed Heart Healing. I'm Christy, the Comeback Mentor. So, if you're new here, I want you to know that this is a safe place to land. What we talk about here is heart healing, dream pursuit, identity restoration, and what it actually looks like to come back from those wilderness seasons that tried to take you out. Been there, done that. So, this is not the highlight reel version. This is what is the real. We talk about the real. So if that's what you're looking for, hit that subscribe button, pull up your chair because you belong here. So really quick, if you haven't watched episode 1 and 2 of the Yes series, go ahead and go back and start there because it'll make this episode 3, make more sense. And I'll pop those up right here and here. Let me tell you, let me just tell you, like, listen, Linda, have you ever been a Linda? I'm guilty. But anyway, last year I went to New Mexico and y'all, I needed God so bad. I was in a very new and raw space and I needed him like the air I was breathing because it was just an awful space. And he met me out there in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the mountains of New Mexico, in a place I had never been in New Mexico, and in a way that was so absolutely electric. I had zero words. I could not put anything into words, and I just wept. It was the most amazing experience, and I'm going to get emotional just because it's a feeling you don't forget. And I mentioned this in one of the other episodes. We pursue God. We search him out and we experience him. Every so often, he comes to us, and that's a totally different experience. It equates to the moment that you were saved when Jesus came into your life and you accepted him and the Holy Spirit descended on you. It's comparable to that feeling. I had zero words, but it was all consuming. It was absolutely impossible to miss. And I'm so very thankful that I had that experience, that he came to me. This year, I went back. I took the same highways because he designed my pathway last year. Literally, I waited until 5 days before I was set to depart to make that determination, and because I couldn't. Every way that I tried to figure out didn't seem right, didn't seem to fit. And so when I opened up, Lord, I don't know. I, should I even go? Tell me which way. He lined it out. So I went the same pathway this year, same highways. I did make one extra stop, but more about that in an upcoming YouTube episode. Oh, and it will blow your mind. Absolutely historical, and I got to be a part of it. But anyway, same mountains, same beautiful New Mexico sky, same amazing terrain that changes quite literally every couple of miles. Don't let anybody tell you that New Mexico is just desert. They have some of the most beautiful national forests, and they take such good care of their forests. and their picnic areas. They take their state seriously. So crossing over into New Mexico felt like home. And let me caveat with this. I had a natural pull to New Mexico several years ago. Number one, my mother was born in Socorro, New Mexico. So there's a root there. While active duty Air Force, I was stationed at Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico. And that is basically the desert with White Sands Missile Range, but with mountains close by. So I had a natural pull, but I also had some unhealed spaces that were in relationship to New Mexico. So me going at such a raw time in my life in a space where I needed desperate healing to spaces that had long time built up a lot of dross that needed healing was scary. Was a little like, should I even take this journey? Even though something in me was just drawing me and pulling me. So New Mexico felt like home. It was like stepping through the glass. Picture a snow globe. Passing through the glass of the snow globe into that beautiful treasure of what's inside. Pick your pleasure of what's inside your snow globe. It's like Superman pulling off his suit and everything to reveal what's underneath the superpower. And that's what New Mexico does for me. It's absolutely stunning, healing, all consuming, all the things. God's there for me. Not that he's not there for me where I'm at. It's just, I don't even have the words. That's our space. Not just nature, not just Louisiana, not just the church house. New Mexico. And there's more, so much more to that story and that why that I will share as we journey down this road. But this year, I was not that same grieving daughter who crossed the state line. I was grieving very deeply 2 losses that increased to 3 losses that increased to 4 close losses. But I was already in the yes space. So those losses was my experience last year. Crossing over in a different, not that I'm not experiencing those emotions of loss, but I was different this year than I was last year. I had already pulled up my chair to the table and I was ready. I was in the yes. I was ready to jump into the snow globe because I knew what was there, what was waiting for me. And I was ready to receive it all over again, just like I got last year, except for one detail. God knew what I needed from him, like always, like last year, instead of my expectations. Now think about that. What I just said. I was in the yes space. I was ready to go through the glass of the snow globe because I already knew what was inside of the snow globe and I was ready. But I kept feeling this feeling of being off. Like, why am I not feeling the way I was last year as I was planning this out? And this question kept coming up as I was traveling towards that state line. Did I make a mistake, Lord? Is this even the right yes space? And because I got real with God, that question opened a door. And what he walked through it with was beyond anything I could have imagined. It opened up more questions, but it created a space where he could reveal so much more. The questions that came forward, four that I'm going to share with you specifically, was not just for me on that trip. I think they may have been a pathway for you too. That's why I want to share them with you, because he makes no mistakes. As we grow and we become more of the divine identity that he has breathed into us, he doesn't want us to hold it close and keep it secret. This is my little secret. This is my little snow globe. He wants us to share that. When that, when, and there was so much about New Mexico's atmosphere that was different, but when the atmosphere feels different and you really don't know what you need, and you're really not sure if you got it right, those questions are the door that opens so that he can come right in. And here is a key. You ask him twice. I was asking myself, Lord, did I hear wrong? Did I mess up? Am I supposed to be here? Basically, same question. But I was asking myself. And then I was asking him. Because in the effort of asking ourselves, we become more focused on the desperation of the answer. And that door opens so much wider when we ask him that question. The difference between these two conversations is absolutely everything. Those questions are everything. They're so unique, specifically downloaded by God Himself, and how He shared them and how He wants us to utilize them. Unique, I promise you. So that's why I want to pause right here, because I really want you to savor what we talked about today, really soak that in and get you ready for the next episode as we dive into those questions. And I want you to bring a journal, because I'm going to take it even a step further. We're going to talk about how God specifically designed you to receive His answers, to know His voice, how He uniquely wired you to understand the unique language that He has for you. Because the way He speaks to you is very, very personal, just like the way He speaks to me is very personal. How I hear Him and how I experience Him may look totally different for you, and how you experience him and actually hear. And now I want to start with this. Don't be afraid of the hear word. Not everybody hears something audible. That's an understanding piece that I think you'll start to grasp, if you haven't already, as we continue to progress through these series. Understanding the unique language that you and he have, even if it's through, like the birds you hear chirping in the background, a cardinal that comes and lands in the road right in front of you, because cardinals don't do that. What message is that? I have a good friend who, there's very special messages through butterflies. There are messages in nature. There are messages in songs, billboards, like the sign I saw while I was on my comeback journey healing trip this year. God speaks to you. It's, do we pay attention? Do we have an understanding? And I know I'm jumping ahead. So get ready. Part 2 releases next Tuesday. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Would love to have you here as part of the community. Would love to hear your feedback, questions, anything you need prayers for. If you're stuck in your journey, in your divine dream, your kingdom assignment, and you need to hear more from God, you need more clarity in what He has to say, specifically to you about that journey, I'm here for you too. Let me know in the comments. Renewed Heart Healing is always available. And as always, don't give up.